Hey everyone, so I just finished watching the trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I have to say, I'm actually looking forward to this movie. Now, for those of you that may or may not know, I've said it very publicly that I wasn't too big of a fan of the first Godzilla movie for several different reasons, but this one looks like it might actually be pretty good. One thing we see right off the bat is that all the things that were rumored to be are true in this movie. We got Rodan in this movie, we got Mothra in this movie, and we got King Ghidorah in this movie, as well as Godzilla. So, already right off the bat, I think that's a good move by Legendary Pictures. Why? Because, look, appeal to the fans. Appeal to what they like. Get more monsters in this movie. Get more things that they're familiar with as longtime Godzilla fans, and let them fight. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to the most. Now, I don't know how they're going to do in terms of presenting these monsters and how much screen time they're going to get. I would be okay with them doing what they did in the first movie, where they show a lot more of these three than they do Godzilla, only because these are monsters that Godzilla fans are familiar with. They're familiar with Rodan. They're familiar with Mothra. They're familiar with King Ghidorah. So having them be in the movie more than Godzilla would be much more acceptable than how it was done in the first movie, where we saw a lot of Muto, but not a lot of Godzilla, not until like the last part of the movie, the last act of the movie is when you really got to see him completely. So, but I'm pretty sure we're still going to get a lot of Godzilla in this movie as well. But I'm saying if they decide to do that, like what they did in the first movie, I think they would get a pass on this, because again, these are monsters that people are used to. These are monsters that people know. So I think it would be okay for them to do that with this movie, if that is what they do in this movie. Now, of course, we also see that Millie Bobby Jones is in this movie. She is from Stranger Things. She played the little girl Eleven, the one with the telepathic or telekinetic powers. But there's some kind of story going on there, I guess, with the family. Maybe the family's broken up. Maybe there's this whole situation happening. Maybe they're divided and they're trying to get back together. I don't know exactly what it is. I'm hoping that if this is, you know, the human story aspect of it is going to be much better than the first one, because that was one of my gripes with the first movie, was that the most interesting character in the movie, the one that you get behind, is the one that dies, you know, 20 to 30 minutes into the movie. And spoiler alert for those of you that haven't seen it, that's Bryan Cranston's character. But that's one thing that I really didn't like about the first Godzilla movie, because the rest of the characters were really, they were very bland, and I didn't really care about them. I didn't care about their plight, and I couldn't really get behind them. I was just like, whatever, you know, I mean, I really couldn't care what happened to them. So I'm hoping that that's one thing that this movie does better, is that the human story aspect of it is going to be one that you could at least empathize or sympathize with a little bit more. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, one thing that it looks like is that, yes, we are going to get a lot more monsters in this movie, at least seemingly from the trailer. By that I mean, you know, a lot more monster action in this movie, and that's the one thing I hope does end up happening in this movie, because you don't really get a lot of that, a lot of the fighting until the very end. But I'm wondering what they're going to do here. Is it going to be a thing where it's a battle royale, every monster for themselves, or is it going to be something like Destroy All Monsters, where they just go ahead and team up and just beat up on King Ghidorah? Or maybe it's going to be a battle royale at first, and then they decide to team up and then beat up King Ghidorah. Who knows what's going to happen, but that's one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing, how all that plays out. And the other thing I'm looking to see, more than anything here, is how they're going to set the stage for King Kong versus Godzilla, because this is apparently, that's going to be the next one, is going to be King Kong versus Godzilla. So how is the stage going to be set here? Is Kong going to, you know, is he going to appear in the last several minutes of the movie and just, you know, be face to face with Godzilla? What's going to happen? How are they going to set that up? That's one thing I'm very much looking forward to seeing with this movie. So there's so many possibilities, and it's one that I'm actually excited for. Hopefully it will not disappoint. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below if you guys are pumped about this movie or if you guys are skeptical. Let me know, and until next time, guys, you know how it goes. The hunt continues.